but some of you have met me, but some of you have never met me because you work every day with Corinne and the rest of the team at Audencia, who's doing wonderful work. I'm very happy. We know the situation is not easy. There were difficulties due to sanitary condition on both sides, and it's really amazing that you, our partners, and universities, schools on both sides managed to organize this learning, teaching, exchange, even if distantly. And of course, I hope that sanitary situation will become better. But I guess everything we learn from this distant exchange and collaborative work will stay with us and will help us make our professional and even personal life even richer. So thank you very much for organizing this masterclass and everything that follows. And I will be able to stay with you maybe 10 minutes, and then unfortunately I will have to go. So have a very nice masterclass and, the rest of the event.
Thank you, Olga. So we also feel that we have a very stable and strong relationship with Audencia Business School, and in FECAP. So we have hands across continents here. So you are a great supporter for us there, and we are here to help you also. So first of all, I would like to say good morning from Brazil to FECAP, Audencia global community located on planet Earth. We are very proud to welcome to FECAP the Audencia students of the Masters of Science in Food and Agribusiness Management from the four corners of the world. We have students from Brazil, France, Canada, Colombia, China, Ghana, India, Nigeria, and Tunisia. I think I haven't forgot anybody. We understand agribusiness as the attractive product of several sciences, technologies, and above all, social interactions in the global environment. For your information, it's good to let you know that this meeting, this masterclass opening will be recorded. And so, I am Rosalie Azevedo, the International Office Coordinator at FECAP in São Paulo, Brazil. And I would like to remind you that FECAP is a very traditional university. I'm gonna share my screen here and to say that Brazil is a sensation. So welcome to Brazil. Welcome to São Paulo. And so in São Paulo, you are at FECAP. And FECAP is a school that is very traditional, a university founded in 1902. FECAP had among its initial goals the teaching of commerce to Brazilian students in the turn of the 20th century. The school was created to help São Paulo to manage trading and commerce of one of the most important commodities of Brazil, coffee. We say our green gold, nosso famoso cafezinho in Portuguese, that has definitely changed Brazil's economic and social pathways. FECAP has a very competitive advantage for having one of the most valuable intangible assets. I mean that we have a highly accredited expertise of its human capital. We can count on personalities such as Dr. Sijiaki Weki, who was the president of Petrobras from 1979 to 1984. We have also in our board Dr. Ruth Cardoso, who was a famous sociologist and the first lady of Brazil from Fernando Henrique Cardoso's presidency from 1995 to 2002. We have also Dr. Delfim Neto, who is a former Minister of Economy of Brazil. And we are very proud for having Dr. Weki and Dr. Roberto Rodrigues, who was the former Agriculture and Cattle Raising Minister from 2003 to 2006. Dr. Rodrigues, so you hear a lot about him because he has developed substantial research on food security for the whole world. And also he has defended the food security related to universal peace. To see his thesis is to avoid that hunger destroys peace. Our partner, as you know, is Audencia Business School in Nantes. And you know that the school was founded in 1900. The Audencia is one of the most competitive universities in Europe, focused in the business administration area, although it has many other areas also. It is an accredited institution that we really have a high appreciation because it is recognized by several academic agents of excellence in business performance and innovation, such as AACSB, MBA, and many other associations. Now, I would like to introduce to you the FECAP's president of the board of curators, Dr. Sijiaki Weki. And I would like to introduce him to say that Dr. Weki was born in Bastos in the state of São Paulo. You know that São Paulo state has about 46 million people. So he's a lawyer and social science expert who graduated from the Catholic University of São Paulo. Dr. Weki has a very extensive CV, but I will tell only the most important positions that he has taken. He was an advisor of the American States Organization in DC, in Washington, DC, in 1968. He was the financial and commercial director of our state oil corporation called Petrobras from 1969 to 1974. And also he took the position of president of Petrobras from 1979 to 1984. In addition, he was the president of the Petroleum Finance Corporation Council in DC, also in Washington, DC, in 1990. And now we are very proud of having Dr. Weki as the president of FECAP's board of curators. I'm going to stop sharing here. And if Dr. Weki has presentations, somebody can help him to show. Dr. Weki, it's a great pleasure to listen to your words in this memorable day for us here at FECAP with this global audience.
Thank you. Thank you. Distinguished faculty members of Audencia Business School of France and the FECAP Business School of Brazil, and the fellow students from several countries. We at FECAP are very honored to promote this course in partnership with Audencia, the prestigious business school of Nantes, founded in 1900 and ranked among the best institutions in Europe. Founded in 1902, our modest business school is also a private and non-profit foundation sponsored in the beginning by farmers and business leaders. Proudly, it was the first business school in our country. Today, we continue our effort to be one of the best. On behalf of FECAP, we welcome all of you. This time, the class will be online, and the lack of the convenient direct personal contact is a disadvantage. However, in today's digital world, we hope that this class of 2020 can strengthen personal relationships that will certainly be very helpful for your career. We congratulate you on your decision to study agribusiness. This subject, which is certainly the oldest in human history, still plays a very important role in preserving our most important collective objective, the peace among nations. One important mission for United Nations is accomplished by FAO, Food and Agricultural Organization. The present pandemic is seriously affecting all countries. Probably this year, the world economy will decline around 5% or $4 trillion. Furthermore, the number of unemployed people will probably reach more than 500 million. Our country, Brazil, is facing multiple serious problems. We are a net debtor dependent in foreign savings, so we are paying a very high interest rate. We have been registering negative budget for a long time. The level of productivity of our people is relatively low due to the low level of education. These and the many other problems reflected, unfortunately, a low position in the World Social Welfare Index. Despite this social and economic negative context, in the agricultural sector, our country is proudly registering outstanding results during decades. Our increase in production and in the productivity of grain, meat, bioenergy source, and the forest product is a reason of admiration from those who are familiar with agribusiness. Here in Brazil, we are employing the most advanced and sophisticated technological method of agricultural production. We can foresee that our country will continue to be a major provider of food, materials, and renewable source of energy. Thanks to agribusiness, our trade balance is positive more than $60 billion this year. We have an advantage in the principal cost factor for agribusiness, that is fuel, mainly from petroleum. Thankfully, our country is also the largest producer of petroleum in the Southern Hemisphere and a net exporter. Brazil is a pioneer in the production and the consumption of green fuel, ethanol for passenger cars, and biodiesel for trucks. The current production is approximately 40 million tons of petroleum equivalent per year, and the consumption for all that quantity substitutes petroleum derivatives. This reduced CO2 emission is helping to avoid the global warming, a major concern in today's world. To generate electricity, the main power is hydropower combined with other biosources and the nuclear, solar, and wind power. Brazil electric power generation is one of the cleanest, and it is substantially less dependent on dirty fossil fuels. Despite all those policies, our country occupies today front page in many newspapers. We have been accused of being careless with the environment. It probably happens because of a lack of clear communications. We are a responsible people, and we are trying to preserve our natural resources. The effort is by far higher than many other countries. Most of the unfortunate fires in our forests during this winter were caused by natural events, as in Africa, Alaska, Siberia, Australia, and other regions. However, we certainly registered criminal fires, and the government is fighting this problem in our vast territory. According to Embrapa, Empresa Brasileira de Pesquisa Agrícola, a research enterprise which succeeded to promote modern tropical agriculture in the vast central area of Brazil, the protected area of Brazil, mainly in Amazon basin, is equivalent to 30% of our territory. In 2019, the 5 million farms are obliged by law to preserve from 20 to 80% of each property for environmental protection, and the total area is approximately 25.6% of the Brazilian territory. So adding the area protected by the public sector with the preserved area by farmers and the Indian reservation lands, we have 66% of our territory, equivalent to the area for all European countries except Russia. The cultivated area is only 80%, and the pasture area is approximately 20% of the total territory. Several developed countries decide to expand the forested area. We are following this example. In Brazil, most developed area, the southern part of the country, a joint effort of public and the private sector is expanding the Atlantic forest with native trees. Year by year, these initiatives is amplifying the forested area. Excuse me. We are doing so because, among important reasons, we believe that to have a favorable climate for agricultural activity in our territory, we must preserve and expand the forested area. With an adequate rain season in most of the territory, we can have 3 crops per year in the same area. We are sure that the world's opinion will be favorable for Brazil in this respect in the near future. Our people are poor in comparison with people of a developed country, but basically we are very optimistic and confident about our future. Brazil is a country of immigrants, and it is registering the largest racial and cultural miscegenation. Also, we are very tolerant in terms of religion. To provide food for the expected population of more than 9 billion people until 2050, it will be necessary to increase the worldwide production in approximately 40%. Our country is prepared to expand the production to attend the market. We are confident that the whole country will increase the production and contribute to preserve the peace among the nations. We invite all of you to study and work together to get this primary and the basic need and strengthen your bonds of friendship with your classmates. We are sure that the lessons that all you will receive from skilled professors will be very useful for the future of each of you, and the exchange of experience among you will be a valuable factor for your success. In my final word, I would like to emphasize the word Audencia, that means listening and learning. And after the pandemic of 2020, those two words will certainly be essential for peace and prosperity in our planet. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Wiki, for this very knowledgeable presentation. So you are from energy and you are connected to agribusiness also. And it's very good to have your insight. Thank you so much. So in the end, so we are gonna open for questions and answers. And now I would like to introduce to you FECAP's Dean, Dr. Simone. Dr. Simone is one of the youngest professors who has gotten the PhD degree from the University of São Paulo. The University of São Paulo is always ranked on the top best universities in Brazil and frequently ranked as one of the best 200 top universities all over the world, according to the Times Higher Education Index. He has been teaching at FECAP's undergraduate program since 2001, and also he started teaching at our graduate programs, the master's degree, an MBA professional program since 2014. And Dr. Simone has been the FECAP Dean since 2010, appointed by the board, the governance board of curators at FECAP. He's a very dedicated researcher on finance and corporate governance. So thank you, Dr. Simone. So the word is yours.
Thank you, Roseli. Good morning for everybody, or good afternoon if you are in Europe, or even good evening if you are in Asia. I would like to welcome the students of the program. And we are really pleased to start the activities of the Agribusiness Advanced course in partnership with Audencia Business School. I would also like to emphasize the choice of the students. I would like to congratulate them on their choice for the reasons very well presented by our president. Your choice to specialize in the field of agribusiness, I think, is good for you and good for the world. We hope you students, you have a rich experience. Besides the very important specific academic issues, we wish you to develop strong connections with Brazil. Although the pandemic allows us to be in contact only by digital means, let's make an effort to stay close. With that in mind, in addition to the course schedule, you already know it, our programs at FECAP are at your disposal. If you would like to attend other classes, please let us know. We are running online, so it will be very, very easy. We will also offer you a Portuguese course if you are interested in developing in the language. You know, Brazil is a major global player in the field you choose to specialize. So having some knowledge of the language may be useful in the future. In due course, Roseli Azevedo will talk with you about the details. I guess you already know Roseli is your godmother here. Oh, yeah, all of you should pray for her when you go to bed, okay? From now on, FECAP is our home here in Brazil. We hope you will have the pleasure of welcoming each one of you in person here in safer times. FECAP will always be available to support you in our country. Count on us, okay? Now, before concluding, I would like to thank Mr. Eduardo Daher from Brazilian Agribusiness Association, ABAG, and Ms. Maria Carolina Freire from Café da Condessa for making their really limited time available. Thank you very much for sharing your knowledge and experience. It is also good to see friends from Audencia. I hope we can meet in Brazil or in France soon. Thanks a lot for the partnership. And now it's time to give the floor to Professor Tejon. But before, I would like to say thank you, Tejon, for your leadership and resilience. Thank you very much. Roseli.
Okay, thank you.
Should I give the floor direct to Tejon?
So thank you, Dr. Simone. Just to emphasize that this program is taking place today because Dr. Simone has a view of creating global competence for FECAP students and creating these partnerships with universities from all over the world. We are little by little increasing the number of our partners, but definitely our relationships with France is very stable, and thanks to him for having this view, you have this program today. Now, so we have to thank you, Dr. Tejon. I'd like to say that he is our Brazilian guru of agribusiness because Tejon has a very extensive resume and CV in the area. Just to let you know, Tejon graduated from several world-renowned universities such as Harvard, MIT, INSEAD in France also, and he has a PhD degree in education from the Universidade La Empresa in Uruguay, Montevideo, which, you know, Uruguay in South America has one of the top educations all over. He's simply the author and co-author of 34 books, 34 titles. And he is an in-company professor of Fundação Getúlio Vargas, which is one of the best Brazilian universities, private Brazilian universities here. You will find a lot of material about Fundação Getúlio Vargas that is published in your area. Tejon was elected one of the 100 agribusiness personalities by one Brazilian magazine called Isto É Dinheiro. He was also honored by a company called Massey Ferguson as an outstanding Brazilian agro-journalist. It's very rare, it's very unique to have agro-journalists and very important to convey the information with agricultural fields. And he was also lecturer at Omics Prize, a keynote speaker in Paris, the best keynote speaker in Paris, and he was awarded the Top of Mind Prize by the most traditional newspaper called O Estado de São Paulo here in São Paulo. And he has a weekly program, a weekly or daily program, Tejon, at a radio called Cabeça de Líder. Cabeça de Líder, we say the leader's head. It's a program that helps young entrepreneurs to develop different strategies and to develop different products in agribusiness. So, Tejon, the stage is yours.
Well, Rosalie, thank you very much for this list, but well, first of all, I would love to embrace all of you personally. This is missing you. This is the main point, right? I would like to embrace, hug all of you. I hope to do next year soon. Probably I'll be there in Nantes, I hope, in February, like we talked to Corina. Corina Lamour, thank you very much for being this opening. Olga Kapchaya, thank you too. And we have here our one real guru. One real guru we have here is Mr. Shigeaki Ueki. Ueki is an extraordinary leader we have in this country, and we need more men like him, because I think it's all over the world. Leadership nowadays is a little bit a problem. So thank you, Mr. Shigeaki Ueki. You are a great man here with a tremendous job you have been done, and thank you for open also with the Professor Edson, Professor Vanderlei, open FECAP to do this double degree with Audencia, with the students all over the world. I think we have here a very important program, but I have to thank you, FECAP. Thank you, Mr. Shigeaki, Edson, thank you very much, Vanderlei, all our fellows in FECAP, and also Rosalie. He is the mother of everybody, of course.
So I have to hug you.
Yes. Yeah, Rosalie, you. Well, welcome, Eduardo Dyer. Eduardo Dyer is with us. Eduardo Dyer is one specialist, very important specialist in agribusiness, not only in Brazil, but he knows everything. He now is the executive for ABAG. ABAG is Brazilian Agribusiness Association. Thank you, my friend Edu, being here with us. Also, Maria Carolina. Carolina is an entrepreneur, wonderful entrepreneur in terms of agribusiness. Maria Carolina, Café de Duchesse. Why not to change the Duquesa for Duchesse? It would be very interesting. Café de la Duchesse. Maria Carolina is a phenomenal in terms of innovation and creativity, and doing with the coffee what we should do probably in terms of all Brazilian coffee. She does in her own company. So we prepare to you. Marcela is with us, also my assistant coordinator here. We prepare a team of extraordinary people to be with you during November. Is a selection of the main expertise people we have in Brazil to share knowledge with you. Unfortunately, you are not here. We also love to make visits, but I don't know about the next year if Corinne could allow some that could come with the team also could come here, because Brazil, like Mr. Shigeaki Ueki said, is fascinating in terms of agribusiness. Here, you will see also an extraordinary society where everybody merge with everybody, Japanese, Italian, Asiatic, European, Arab, everybody mixes here, and we create a very interesting and unique also society in the world, a tropical environment, and we develop a lot in terms of agribusiness. We have problems like everybody else, but I think in terms of agribusiness, we did a very, very important movement during the last 30, 40 years. So, welcome. Thank you for our fellows in FECAP. Thank you again for Mr. Shigeaki, Edson, Vanderlei, because you are responsible for join this program with Audencia, a place there in France that we love too. Corinne, Olga, Desi, all that people you have there are also fascinating, creating also the Collaborative Institute for Agribusiness, for Global Agribusiness. It's a very interesting initiative you've been doing there in UNS. We need to do there the same that Professor Ray Goldberg, with 93 years old, he's doing in Harvard, the same idea. So very important to develop this Collaborative Institute for Global Agribusiness there under Audencia management. So I think this is the main point I'd like to change to you. You will see very good people exchanging ideas with you, sharing ideas with you in terms of the future. This moment is a not comfortable moment, but when you see the history of mankind, the develop we have been doing in humanity also comes after crisis and problems. So be prepared, because the world after 2021, I am saying we will start the new century. The new century 21 starts in 2021. 2020 is the finish of 20th century. So let's go to the future, and you, young people, you are responsible for the new leadership in this world. And you are very happy, I could say, because you are in this moment under the best people that could inspire you to the future. You are the owners of the future. Welcome virtually. I hope to see you here in Brazil, or even there in February, I hope, Corinne, during the diplomation ceremony. I don't know. It's a fantastic ceremony you do there too. And I wish you very good luck also in terms of your internship and everything you have to do. So thank you very much. And Rosalie.
Thank you, Tejon. So I always say that this program has two fathers. It's at FECAP. So it's Tejon and Professor Vanderlei. So Professor Vanderlei is the Brazilian father of this program, and Tejon is more the international father, because Tejon is a professor at Audencia and a professor at FECAP. So I don't know if Professor Vanderlei would like to add something now that Professor Tejon said. It's a good, we have the time.
Okay, everybody, welcome to FECAP. I am Vanderlei, and I am very happy today to be able to send a message to you. Honestly, it is a great pleasure to have you studying here at FECAP, even if online. I hope you will come here when we have a vaccine for COVID-19, and we can all get together and face-to-face. As one of the managers of this program, I'd like to take this opportunity to reinforce the words of the chairman of your board, Dr. Weki, and our dean, Professor Simoni. To the students of this Audencia and FECAP program, I wish you an excellent course. Like Dr. Weck said, Brazil has a lot of good things about agriculture, and we have a lot of things to teach about agriculture. And FECAP, due to its long history in business, has a lot of teaching as well. In this contest, you have a great opportunity to new knowledge and new experience. So enjoy it well. I, along with Professor Tejon, Professor Rosely, and Ms. Marcela, will accompany and support you through the course. So welcome, even online, to Brazilian part of this education experience. My special greetings for all. Thank you and welcome to Brazil and welcome to FECAP.
Thank you, Professor Vanderlei. So you see that we have several hands supporting your program. Now, it is a great pleasure to invite our French partner, Corinne Lamour, to speak. As you know her, Corinne has worked for the agro-food industry for 18 years at the marketing and sales position with international responsibility, which means that she understands a lot about cross-cultural competence. And this is a word of today's education. She worked for a French company called Diana Simrise, Corinne Simrise, and American company called Camming. And then in 2010, she decided to change to the academics, and she decided to teach marketing at the university, and she got her PhD degree in marketing in 2014. She teaches food marketing, global marketing, and B2B marketing at Audencia and other schools since 2011. Corinne is a great supporter for us there. So she gives us great advices. So I thank you personally for that, Corinne, because so it's difficult for us to understand the different cultures, and she really helps us to read what you may be thinking and what may be happening ahead of time. Thank you, Corinne. And so the word is yours.
Okay, thank you, Rosalie. It's a teamwork, so I'm happy to work with you. And first of all, thank you for giving me the opportunity of joining or participating to this opening session. For me, this partnership with FECAP is key for the program. Because France, okay, is a big player in food and agriculture, but also Brazil is a huge player. And it's very relevant and very key to have an academic partner in Brazil, and that students could know more about Brazilian agriculture network, techniques, mindset, and so on. So I'm very happy with this partnership, and I hope we continue forever. And we can still improve things, of course, but I wanted to thank all the team in Brazil, Rosalie, of course, but also Tejon and Wanderley. We spoke together a few times and regularly, so thank you for that. So finally, you could make it. We have postponed several times, and I'm happy that you could also equip some rooms, teaching rooms in FECAP to allow synchronous teaching. So thank you for that. Thank you for the investments. Actually, students have chosen to do it online, but at least we know that in the future we might use your equipment again, and we all appreciate this effort from you here in France. So, dear students, I wish you enjoy this period in Brazil, online period, but you will discover many things. I know you will meet with many people from the industry, key people, key players from the industry, thanks to Tejon and your network. So thank you again, Tejon, for giving the opportunities to our students to get access to this network. I guess it's very important for you students to develop your network, to enrich your network, especially in Brazil. What I encourage you to do during this month and so is, although it's online, I will push you to speak, to participate during classes, ask questions, challenge the speakers, also try to make parallels between what's going on in Brazil and what's going on in France or in your own country. This is the richness of this group. You are from all over the world, from different backgrounds. Some of you are engineers, some others are from social sciences. So please, yeah, participate, share your knowledge, learn from each other's. And as we discussed, Tejon, the other day, it's about emotional intelligence, like how to have fun together, how to build relationship with the others and learn from the others. So this is very important for me. So don't hesitate to engage in debates and so on during classes. Online classes are not physical classes, but I count that each of you make some efforts to participate and do as if you are physically present in Brazil. Okay. So I would say that, yeah, keep up the good work, dear students. I will see you back beginning of December for the thesis defenses. And I'm sure you have done good progress, and I remain at your disposal to help you in the meantime. And I wish you good luck in Brazil. Thank you.
Thank you, Corinne. So, as Corinne said, it's a pity that we are, between quotation marks, that we are online, because I'm sure that I would take you all over here in São Paulo to the cultural place, to the museums, to the art galleries, and to have São Paulo nightlife, and so that you could feel the taste of the city. But Professor Edson reminded us in a letter I sent to you, a welcome letter, and we put there some virtual tours for you to see now, but he asked me to invite you to come soon to São Paulo someday. Eventually, you'll be back to São Paulo. I'm sure that in this, like Tejon said, São Paulo is one of the largest distributor centers of agribusiness. Last year, I took the students to the distribution center here, and I'm sure that you have links with Brazil, like Dr. Wick said, because of the prominence of the Brazilian market in agribusiness, okay? Now I have the great pleasure of invite Dr. Eduardo Daher from ABAG, our great partner here in Brazil. Dr. Daher, he took 2 undergraduate programs in the 2 most difficult universities in Brazil. So most competitive universities, because he was an economist, graduated from the University of São Paulo. However, at the same time, he took a BA, Bachelor of Arts in Business Administration, at Fundação Getúlio Vargas, which is a very competitive university in Brazil. In addition, he has an MA, Master of Arts degree from Getúlio Vargas, also in marketing. He has worked as executive director of the National Fertilizer Association and the National Association of Plant Protection. So if you need information about plants and agribusiness, Dr. Daher has. He was a former president and current director of the National Association of Rural Marketing and Agribusiness, and also an advisor for the Brazilian Agribusiness Association and Agricultural Research Development Foundation, which is a foundation connected to the Department of Agricultural and Supply of the state of São Paulo. So just to remind you, the state of São Paulo is like the California in the United States. It's the wealthiest state with the largest GDP of Brazil. So he has worked as a lecturer and coordinator of courses in several areas of input marketing for many, many years. And he has published several articles on Brazilian agribusiness. So thank you, Dr. Daher, for being with us. So the stage is yours now.
Okay, thank you, Rosalie. It was my pleasure to be here with you, Edson Simone, my special friend Tejon, and also Vanderlei and Corinne, all those people. But I have a special request that I worked at more than 2 decades ago with Mr. Shigeaki Ueki. We were part of the same fertilizer company at that time. So that means we are becoming very old because we are working with fertilizer for more than 3 decades. So we are supposed to know this business deep and know exactly what is the mining and the thinking of the Brazilian agribusiness. Thank you to be here. It was very nice to meet you again, Dr. Ueki. We have been together at Copas for a long time. And so I would like to share the screen, and I hope everybody can have some information. There's just 10 very quick slides talking about this incredible jump that the Brazilian agribusiness made in the last decades. So it's part of our business, the technology, the climb, and the vision of the market. Can you please open the total screen? Yes, it goes.
Yes.
Okay, this is a very short presentation, and we are reinforcing what Mr. Ueki told us about the sustainable agriculture and the problems we are facing with climate change and trade, and not just the vision about Brazil, it's mainly Brazil, but 15 minutes ago, I was in a meeting at the Mercosul. We are facing the problem as all countries, Argentina, Uruguay, Paraguay, Brazil, regarding the union, the community of the European business regarding the Mercosur countries. So I will make a very short presentation. Please, Fagner, the next one. Okay, talking just one slide about our Brazilian Agribusiness Association. is an organization founded in 1993. So we are adults. We overpassed 27 years, and we took this, what we can say, the transverse connection of the chain in agribusiness. So our founder, our first president that Tejon knows because we worked together in Agrosed, is Mr. Ney Bittencourt Araújo. He had been in Harvard, and he brings the agribusiness word for the first time into Brazil. And we translate agribusiness in agronegócio. Everybody is talking in Brazil about agronegócio. That means agribusiness. Since the beginning, when we talk about seeds, limestone, fertilizer, crop protection, chemical products, inside the farm and after the farm, the transformation that goes to the supermarket and to the customer. Abagi today has 80 associates. We have plenty of those people before, inside, and after the farm. So it's a complete different association than the ones that I lived before. It was the Fertilizer Association. We just discussed fertilizer among us. And after that, I went to ANDEFI, that was the Crop Protection Association. We just discussed crop protection. And now we are working with Abagi, that is, as I told you, a transverse association. Next, please. This is the magnitude of the Brazilian agribusiness. And we split. This is not an update number. If you have a look at the source, it is a 2018. We have better numbers, 2019 and 20. But it's just to say, in 1960, I remember 1965 was but the first time I went to Europe. And when I get inside the custom in London at the Heathrow airport, the customer took my passport and, oh, Brazil. He just know two names. Brazil, he talked about café and Pelé. That the only two things that everybody knows about Brazil, side by side with Carnival, it's Pelé, the soccer player that makes 80 years old last week, and café, because Brazil for a century was the largest coffee producer all over the world. What we are explaining here is the importance of production of orange juice. Orange juice is 55% of the total orange juice is in the world is produced in Brazil. Every orange juice you take all over the world, be sure that among 7 of the 10 oranges were produced by a Brazilian company. So orange juice, sugar, coffee, and also pulp, that is cellulose, the paper that we produce with pulp. And nowadays also soybean and poultry and all these things, Brazil makes a very good performance productive. In export business is below, you have the orange juice again, the sugar, the coffee, and so on. This means one of the secrets of the Brazilian agribusiness success. It is a diversity of products and a diversity of markets. We will see later on. Please, the next one. Okay, some more numbers. We used to be very proud about the agribusiness in Brazil. There is advertising running for more than 2 years in Brazilian TV saying agro is complete, agro is everything, agro is poppy, agro is... And we are very proud, but in fact, the agribusiness represents close to today 23 to 25% of our GDP. You know, gross domestic product is in the Brazilian translation, Produto Interno Bruto. So we are very important, but we are not the most important in the country. On the other hand, in the export business, the balance of the agribusiness, mainly soybean complex, is blooming. We overpass the iron mineral. We overpass the petroleum that Mr. Wecky knows by far used to be the largest trade all over the world. Now, the soybean complex, that means the oil, the grain, and also the waste of the soybean are the top product in our export balance. 19% of our jobs are connected with agribusiness. Here, I have to say that the machines and the robotization of the Brazilian agribusiness is putting down a little bit. This number used to be higher, and nowadays you have harvest machines running by far by GPS system. You have tractors running without drivers. And so this is a big technology evolution, but a problem with the jobs even in the country. And in fact, the best goal, the best target in the agribusiness was the reduction of the price of the food all over Brazil and South America. Why? Because we produce twice a year, sometimes with irrigation 3 times, 3 seasons every year. Try to do that in Canada. Try to do that in Russia or in the North Hemisphere. You are under snow. Snow and winter are the best herbicides, insecticides, fungicides all over the world. But Brazil is a tropical country. We have the bonus to produce twice a year or sometimes 3 times a year. But on the opposite side, we have a climate problem regarding the climate. We have a dry season this year. We are late this year. Regarding the rains are coming just now. They are supposed to be coming on early September, but they didn't come. And then also we have some problems with the exchange rate that we do not control. Okay, the main thing is the last line. How is the distribution of the, here is a mistake, GDP in the chain? 12% is industry inputs, the one that we work together, Mr. Wiki. Fertilizer business is here, limestone is here, seed is here. Then inside the business, you have agriculture, the production, the cooperatives, and you have the agro-industry, the people regarding the cooperatives that takes the raw material and makes them food that goes to the supermarket. If you ask for a kid in Rio de Janeiro where it comes, the milk, he will answer by far that comes from the supermarket. And he doesn't know that you need a cow to take early in the morning the milk at 5 o'clock in the morning in order to have a milk in a Tetra Pak at the supermarket. That it's amazing that the rural market is becoming for a long time far away from the urban market, and we have to bring it back to know from where it comes, the coffee you take, the orange juice you take, the milk, the cheese, and the butter you take early in the morning. They come from the country. They come from the rural area. And finally, the service that are the best part of this game. You need a banking system. You need a credit system. You need a logistics system in order to take all this production to the harbor facilities or to the stores in order to go to the customer. Next, please. Oh, this is, sorry, it's in Portuguese, but it's very important to explain how Brazil uses his land and what is the planted area and what is the land use and property in Brazil. This is a pie. Everybody knows this kind of graphics. And if you have a look at the right side, the preserved area is 66.3% of the land in Brazil. Here I'm putting together the Indian area, the Union area, the Brazilian property area, the native vegetation, the main area that we do not use in agribusiness. And also inside the property, 20.5%, the most green, is preserved area in the farms. You can open a farm in Brazil, but not totally. You have to preserve areas side by side with the rivers, side by side with the local vegetation and things like that. I will explain later on. So, in fact, what we are discussing at the 30% of the area of Brazil is used for agribusiness. And the largest part for native pasture, 13.2%, and also native pasture, 88%. So the crop area in Brazil is just 9%. This is very important to explain to people in Europe and also in South America and North America, that we are trying hard to preserve the largest part of our nature, but we have facing some problems recently. What I'm saying is that this is information built by Embrapa, that is our research department in agribusiness in Brazil, and also this 66 against 30% were checked by NASA in USA. So the satellites that covers the South America area is completely connected for the agribusiness between Embrapa and NASA. Next, please. Here, the main challenges. We have in everything that you will face in your life, in your future life, you young guys, you have challenges and opportunities. We have some very deep challenges. One is productivity. We grow really fast with technology in Brazil. We have an intensification of our agribusiness. We are producing more in the same area. And this is the advantage. You do not have to get inside the forest to produce more. You have to increase your productivity side by side with the opportunity in a tropical country to have 2 crops every calendar year. The sustainability that we already talked about, integrated with production. Sustainability means that you are completely thinking about the future, and the sustainability is a triangle, completely perfect: economic, environmental, and social. You have to be what they call equilateros, side by side and angle by angle, perfect square. Because on the other hand, you are producing with economic point of view, but you are forgetting the social. You are producing social, but you are forgetting the environment. So we have to keep that equilibrated. market-oriented. You know that we are making an effort regarding the last point that is connected with Tejon and with discourse, that is communication also. We are facing and we are developing very quickly logistic and infrastructure in Brazil. Our logistic is not so good. Just let me point from a long period when you go to Europe, or mainly when you go to the United States, and you have a look at the Corn Belt or look at the farms, they have this storage in their own property. They used to keep the barnyards in the Corn Belt are unbelievable. 65% of Canada, they keep their production at the farm. In US, they keep 50% of their production at the farm. Even in Argentina, our friends in the South, they have close to 30% in their farms. We are just 18. We have to increase that. What happens when everybody harvests? They have to put in the trucks and go to the harbor in order to export. So we have a very big problem with logistics. For a long time, we have a line of trucks with soybean inside. That's the way we put our storage of grains in a deep problem of logistics. So we have also to develop credit as a challenge. And the credit is supposed to be open. As you know, the international market, the price of soybean is not the local price, but the Chicago Board of Trade price, the bushel of, it depends of the US exchange rate, and it depends of the market, the open market, the complete market in open market in the international point of view. Integrating productivity chains, the system that is the purpose of ABAGI, integrated actions and solution in order to improve results, and also communication. We speak very well among us, but we have to speak better with the society. They have to understand what we are doing in our farms in order to supply the supermarkets. Next, Wagner, please. So those are the priorities nowadays in Brazil. We are facing a problem of deforestation, and sometimes, mainly at the last 2 months, the problem of fire in Amazonia. This is a hard problem that we have to put a very big effort in order to stop with the illegality. Some of the areas they are opening in order to make money selling the woods abroad, or even to take the land to them. This large part of the land in Brazil, there is no owner. If you go there, you have to buy, and you have I will explain a little bit after the next slide. We have a forest code. We have a very deep and hard forest code approved 12 years ago that we are using not so good, but I have to explain. So next slide, please, just to go ahead. This is the legislation regarding the forest code in Brazil. Well, if you have a look here, the largest part of the Amazon, you can open just 20% in grassland. 80% you are supposed to preserve. The same in Cerrado or Savannah area, you have to save 35% of your area, and you can open your farm, but you have to preserve. And if you are not preserving, you are supposed to put again the legislation there, put again the forest there in order to have credit with the government and the agribusiness keep running in the country. And the largest part at the seashore here is just 20% of preservation, and we are doing an effort to keep this 20% completely in a good way. So every rural area needs to register the CAR. CAR means Cadastro Ambiental Rural. In English, it's Rural Environmental File. The government is putting a file of every small farm in order to have this rural environmental file in order to take the traceability. The consumer today want to know from where it comes his orange juice, from where it comes his coffee. And so we have to improve the traceability in the agribusiness in Brazil. And this is the effort we are putting a lot of effort and money today. Fagner, the next, please. Here, sorry, it's in Portuguese. Here is how to explain to you fellows why we improve and why we make this big jump in the Brazilian agribusiness. At the left side, you have the 2000, the year 2000, our billing was $20.6 billion. Almost 10 years ago, we make 5 times that. We come to 96.8, almost $100 billion that we already did, we are doing this year. But and if you have a look at the left side, the number one was Produtos Florestais. It was forest production, wood production. The second one was soybean. Have a look at the right side. Soybean overpassed. Soybean became 34% of our billing. The meat business is coming to 17%. The forest products are coming to 13%. And so if you have a look, there is a diversity of products. Let's have a look at the next slide in order to explain how we are dealing with that. Fagner, the next one, please. Here and today, overpass, one back. Yeah, that's it. If you have a look at the left side, the European community was our largest client in 2000. 41% goes to Europe, doesn't matter which country. I'm talking about Europe. And 18% goes to USA. So it means that 60% of our agribusiness was connected with the North Hemisphere, was connected with US and European. If you have a look, what happens 20 years after, China overpassed everybody, and we have to take care about that. I'm not so proud about China. We understand that China is blooming in the last 10 years, but it's dangerous to have 32% of your business connected with just one country. But doesn't mean, it means that China is 32%, and Asia, without China and without Middle East, is also 17%. So what we are saying is a long time ago, 10 years ago, 60% was North Hemisphere, and nowadays 38% is going to the North Hemisphere. And then, so the Asia Pacific market, and we do not get into India. India and China together are 1/3 of the whole world population. It means they need food. We need to produce to the market, and they are the market. We already keep on China, but we do not hit at all India. So this is just to explain the diversity of products to a diversity of markets is one of the top secrets of the success in the Brazilian agribusiness. My grandmother used to say a long time ago, don't put all the eggs in the same basket. And we are respecting that in this case. We are putting the eggs in different baskets, in different products to different countries. Before I make this presentation, I have a contact with Mr. Roberto Rodrigues, our friend in Fundação Getúlio Vargas. This year, we export to 198 different destinations all the agribusiness products. It is a huge amount of countries. It is the huge amount of open markets, and part of that we deserve to our lady, Teresa Cristina, the Minister of Agriculture nowadays in Brazil. She is a tough lady. She is very strong. Sometimes we need a woman to put the market going on. And this is the case in the Brazilian agribusiness. Better have a woman there than have a man. Okay, so I would like to put the last slide, and thank you all. Fagner, o último. Okay, this is just to have my contact here, and also say thank you, merci beaucoup à vous qui sont en France, et aussi pour les autres qui sont avec nous. I would like to finish with a gift. And this gift is an advertising that was presented a long time ago. And it's unbelievable, beautiful advertising regarding the farmer proud in USA. This advertising is a very small one, 2 minutes. And I will love you to watch that. It's unbelievable, nice. It's God talking about farmers. This was not a regular film. It is what we call in advertising a tabletop. Tabletop, it means a quantity of different slides they present with some movements, different movements. It is unbelievable. It appears in 2014 during the Super Bowl interval, the most expensive advertising all over the world. Tiago, I would like to open the sound and present to all this advertising, please. The sound.
And on the 8th day, God looked down on his planned paradise and said, I need a caretaker. So God made a farmer. God said, I need somebody willing to get up before dawn, milk cows, work all day in the fields, milk cows again, eat supper, then go to town and stay past midnight at a meeting of the school board. So God made a farmer. God said, I need somebody willing to sit up all night with a newborn colt and watch it die, then dry his eyes and say, maybe next year. I need somebody who can shape an axe handle from a persimmon sprout, shoe a horse with a hunk of car tire, who can make harness out of hay, wire, feed sacks, and shoe scraps, who planting time and harvest season will finish his 40-hour week by Tuesday noon, and then painting from tractor back put in another 72 hours. So God made a farmer. God said, I need somebody strong enough to clear trees and heave bales, yet gentle enough to yean lambs and wean pigs and tend the pink-combed pullets, who will stop his mower for an hour to splint the broken leg of a meadowlark. So God made a farmer. It had to be somebody who'd plow deep and straight and not cut corners. Somebody to seed, weed, feed, breed, and rake and disc and plow and plant and tie the fleece and strain the milk. Somebody who'd bail a family together with the soft, strong bonds of sharing. Who would laugh and then sigh and then reply with smiling eyes when his son says that he wants to spend his life doing what Dad does. So God made a farmer.
Thank you. I think it's a little bit of emotion. It is unbelievable how the voice makes the difference. This is Morgan Friedman dialogue, and it sounds like God talking with you. And I watched this advertising so many times and give me some emotion, mainly when he says that, okay, my son will keep running the farm. This is a huge problem in Europe, in US, and also in Brazil. We need to take our young people working at the farms, not going to shopping centers. That's my particular opinion. Thank you all. It was my pleasure to be here with you, and I will be listening to everybody. Thank you all.
So I am breathless. So after Eduardo's presentation, so it's really moving to have you here with us. And you see, guys, he is a mover and shaker. So in the agribusiness, and he really loves what he does. So thank you, Eduardo. Thank you, Tejon, for having, and Dr. Wiki and Vanderlei for having this kind of quality, excellence of a presentation. And I'm sure that this day will be unforgettable for all of you here in a virtual Brazil. Thank you, Eduardo. So now, last but not the least, we have a presentation of the top model agribusiness lady in Brazil. So she's not only an entrepreneur, but he is our top model here. Maria Carolina Freire Roberto de Lima. It is a great pleasure to have you with us again. So she's the founder and owner of a special coffee brand called Café da Condessa, which we can translate for the Countess Coffee. And her farm is in the state of Minas Gerais. And I wish that someday we could visit all together, and including Corinne, to go there to visit her farm. And she is an architect, but later became a fashion producer. And now she uses her personal style and sensitivity to innovate in her coffee brand. So pay attention, he is a creative designer, creative director in the agribusiness sector, using the marketing for her brand. And Carolina lives in a parallel world, in metropolis, in countryside, and between several cups of coffee. She studies philosophy, leadership, business management, and disruptive innovation. So Carolina, Thank you for joining us in this important day, and the stage is yours.
Thank you. Salud, everybody. Can you hear me? Everything okay?
Yes.
Okay? Okay. Thank you for inviting me today. Merci beaucoup pour votre invitation. Je comprends le français, mais je ne parle français très bien parce que je ne pense pas en français, je pense en portugais, anglais, mais je ne pense pas en français. So I feel more secure speaking in English. My company is Café da Condesa. My father has a farm and I own the company because he didn't believe that could work as I wished, because I think and I see coffee in a different perspective. As Mr. Dyer said, everything for my point of view, his point of view, and the agribusiness is very male perspective. And my point of view is female perspective. So I am very different. So as I think everybody says, I am out of the box, maybe because I'm a girl. And because of this, my company won several prizes, one in New York, another in Spain, and I will share with you my point of view now. So my name is Maria Carolina. My first name is Maria Carolina. Some people call me like this, but there are other persons that call me in different ways. It can be just Maria, or just Carolina, or Carol, or the Countess. And how people call me say a lot about them, because it's how they see me. And of course, it happens in other situations also, including how people see coffee, how people see a city, how people see a museum. So we see things through our own experience. So when they call me, I understand how they are. The Maria's group is completely different than the Carol's group. So, and we don't exist by ourselves. We are what other eyes can see. So I want to share my screen. Can I, Rosalie?
Yes, try to share the screen. Fagner.
Okay?
Yes, yes,
okay.
Yes.
Okay. So, to start, I want to ask you, what do you think about my dresses? These are my packets of my company, and I used to call them dresses, because sometimes we girls, we can see very hard to each other, very critics, but we do this because we look for inspiration. Aesthetic comes from the word aesthesis, the Greek word aesthesis, and it means sensation. So much more than just look beautiful, we want to feel beautiful. But what is beauty? Beauty is a value, like the goodness and the truth. Beautiful for philosophy is the harmony of outer forms. Good is the harmony of inner forms. And the sublime is the awe. So let's see an example of sublime.
Carolina? Can you share?
This is an advertisement by Maison Dior, and I wish to share with you because the best market in the world is not a country, it's a gender, is the woman, are the woman. We consume much more than men, and when you think about woman empowerment, you are thinking about market. So what do women want? They want that dress, they want that perfume, they want that flowers, they want that boyfriend, but most of this, they want to be protagonists of their own life. More than lots of bisous, they want to have control of the situation. They want to dream their own dreams and find an opportunity to realize them. Nothing has changed more than a woman in the last 100 years. 100 years ago, a woman could not vote, could not exist without a man. She was like an object. Who was a woman 500 years ago? She was an object that needed to be plugged into a socket to work. In this case, she was connected to a man. This man could be her father, or brother, or husband, or son. In the absence of this, she could be linked to God by the church or the state by the king. But there was a kind of woman who was attached to no one. She lived alone in the forest. She knew how to take care of herself. But that society would not accept that, because if the woman to exist needed to be attached to a man, of course she was there with a man. A man no one could see. She was there with the devil. She was a witch and would have to be burned. So what do women want? They want as a witch to be subject, plus than just an object. They want to desire, they want to dream their own dreams and the opportunity to realize them. 500 years to achieve a possibility to dream our own dreams without fears to be burned. To this day, society lives steeped in this consciousness of the witch. In Brazil, if a woman is walking in the street, society says, there comes a woman alone. If two women are walking together in the street, society says, there are two women alone. If 5 women are walking together on the street, society says, there come 5 women alone. If we have 5 women and 1 man walking together on the street, society says, there are 5 women and 1 man walking on the street. They are not alone anymore. How many women are needed to not be alone? We must improve a lot because we are still not seen as a subject. So what am I doing here today, plus than just speaking about feminism? I'm very grateful to men. I'm only child and only grandchild. My mother and my grandmothers died when I was child. I grew up and was educated by 3 widowers, 3 men, my father and my grandfathers. I don't have problem with men. I just want to tell you how my company and I relate to agriculture through my eyes. When Neil Armstrong arrived on the moon, he looked at the sky and what did he see? He saw us outside of the box. But how are we inside of the box? We are colored, noisy, and heavy. But outside of the box, we are blue, silent, and we float. We are completely different inside and outside of the box, completely different. So always we must have many points of view to understand one situation. Just one point of view is not enough anymore. This picture is of Caroland, my kingdom, where everything is Carolicious. Caroland is in Serra dos Lima, a set of mountains in the south of Minas Gerais, named after my family's name, Lima. My coffee plantation is on the mountains at more than 4,000 feet of altitude. Below this mountain has a village where about 500 people live. I do not know if you know, but above 3,000 feet of altitude, we get into another climate. The climate of the mountain is different from the climate of the village, which is below 3,000 feet of altitude. This mountain, another thing is that my state is called Minas Gerais, which means general mines. This mountain is a white quartz mountain. Experts say that coffee near stone has a special taste, better if the stone is a jewel. These mountains have been in my family for almost 200 years. The plantation has around 100 years. My company, Café da Condesa, is an heritage that you drink. I am 9th generation of coffee producers, but I stayed many years without step into this farm because I didn't want to live this life. I didn't want this succession. But life found a way to catch me and drop me inside a dark gap. There I found a mug where it was writing, "Drink me." So I drank, and that was coffee. When I started my coffee journey, I used it to ask questions like, how do you float? Because I have the view from outside of the box, not inside of the box. And the answers were, we don't float. Oh yes, you float. I can see you floating from where I came. I can see you floating. No, you were crazy. I like to use the classics to explain things because they explain everything. As I feel related to Le Petit Chaperon Rouge, I feel related to Alice in the Wonderland because Coffeeland is an enormous chain with different kingdoms and they don't understand each other. When the Cheshire Cat tells Alice that whatever path she chooses, we'll always find crazy people because we are all crazy, we recognize our world. Alice is a rational girl who asks logic to absurd adults inside a world that seems to be a dream, but that's a nightmare. And the only way out of the nightmare is to wake up. Knowledge is the only way to true freedom. At the end of the trial, when the guards came to arrest her, Alice says, "You are nothing but a bunch of cards." And she wakes up. This moment is very important. What is the value of the card 3 in a deck? Is it a good or a bad card? It depends on the game you play. Recognizing which card you represent in the game of life and what kind of game they are inviting you to play is knowledge. Deciding whatever to play it or not is freedom. Agriculture doesn't understand the other lands in the coffee chain. They don't understand what card they represent in this game. And because of this, they play games that they will not win. And why don't they know which card they represent? Because they don't know how they look like outside of the box. They don't have the other point of view. And because of this, they are vulnerable, les mutants. The industry, market, exportation, certifications, etc. have the other point of view. They move, they are cross boundaries. They know that 5 o'clock tea makes sense in England, but not in Wonderland. And neither in Coffeeland, because Coffeeland drinks coffee, not tea. We must wake up. We must, across boundaries, look and see how we look like outside and inside of the box. Alice is a rational girl that across boundaries. I want to be a woman who belongs to Caroland, Coffeeland, Wonderland, Neverland, and many other lands. I don't need to be Le Loup or Le Mouton. I can be outside of Le Loup's box and outside of Le Mouton's box. I can create a third box, Le Petit Chaperon Rouge box. So a modern Le Petit Chaperon Rouge is the one that will negotiate with Le Loup and Le Mouton, maybe hire them. In New Land, Le Petit Chaperon Rouge is not a bossy girl because she's the boss. And if you think the world is too crazy, I will be your Cheshire cat and tell you that whatever path you choose, we'll always find crazy people because we are all crazy. Thinking out of the box, outside of the box, in 1943, Albert Einstein was teaching at Oxford University, and one day he just gave an exam of physics to his senior class of physics students. His assistant came to him and asked, "Dr. Einstein, this exam which you just gave to the senior class of physics students, isn't it exactly the same exam you gave to exactly the same class 1 year ago?" "Yes, it is exactly the same," said Einstein. But Dr. Einstein, how could you possibly do that? The assistant said. Well, said Einstein, the answers have changed. We live it in a world where the questions might be the same, but the answers have changed. The quick question for today is there a method for the madness? And the answer is yes. Everybody talks about the box, how to think outside of the box. But what is this box? Box is an object with four sides where the limits are very well defined. The box represents us, and these sides represents our legal boundaries, or moral boundaries, or mobility boundaries, and our technological boundaries. So getting outside of the box means getting out of ourselves. But this is not new. Montaigne is in the century of 16 offered us a life open to the new, places, cultures, and people different from us, so that we can interact with different models of life, because this will make our thinking have more options and choosing solutions to our problems. This is how the address are in Paris. We have avenues, we have streets, we have parks. But in Brasilia, the capital of Brazil, we don't have streets. We have blocks. And in Tokyo, we have blocks also. But in the farms, we have fields. So streets, blocks, and fields are the same thing, but no. This is Caroland, and this is Recife, the capital of Pernambuco state in Brazil. But when this painting was made in the 17th century, Pernambuco was a Dutch colony. This painting was painted by Albert Eco, a Dutch painter. So this is a Eco painting, and you can see the fruits in the trees, and you can see this woman, and this other painting, you see a lot of food, because maybe in Europe in this time, they didn't have the food as we had here. So another food, and this is very interesting, because this Indian woman, she is taking her food with her. You can see a foot here and a hand here, because she was a cannibal. So food sometimes is not the same for us, and coffee neither. This is the number 31. This is how we write 31 in Portuguese, 31. This is 31 in English. This is 31 in French. So they are the same, but no. This is a kippah, a Jewish hat. This is a takia, a Muslim hat. And this is a solidel, a Christian hat. So they're the same, yes, but no. So how sometimes we have different ways to say the same thing. And this is outside of the box. So before I used my first package, I used it to think, I used Chanel as inspiration, and the colors, and and the little black dresses. And I had this package that relates with Chanel. And after that, I used it to have a package inspired in Dior, and the skirts, Dior skirts. And now I use for inspiration Gianni von Furstenberg. And the difference is that Gianni is alive. So I got Dior and Chanel, they are dead people. And Gian is alive. And imagine, I talked to Gian. So, and I wish to have other be completely different than before, because before I was more conservative, and now I am there there with my package. So I use to see my package dresses, and I use this is Andy Warhol work of art, and I use serigraphy and silk to make my package, also like a work of art. And this is Andy Warhol, and you can see they have the same. He has the same portrait, but with different colors.
Carol, we have 2 more minutes, okay?
Okay, so I'm finishing.
Okay, thank you.
And when I think about my package and my brand, I wish to use the art and the fashion as inspiration for my company. And these are my package now. And I used to see my company as a lifestyle branding, not just a coffee branding. And these are the prize that we got in New York and Madrid, and we got the golden medal in Brazil for innovation. And my company is partner of Apex, a case in Sebrae Nacional and Sebrae of my state. And this is just what I want to say. We have a responsibility to ensure that women have every opportunity to reach the highest levels of their profession and lead across political, economic, and social spheres. In the societies we live in today, there is no excuse not to include women, as I suggested to an all-male board on a recent trip. If all the seats at the table are full, you just need to pull up an extra chair. So we can, I didn't have a chair in the Coughlin, so I created my own chair. So this is my contact, and thank you very much. I hope everybody like it, and I hope I helped to think outside of the box.
Fantastic, Carolina. Beautiful, aesthetic, very interesting. Thank you very much for your presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carolina. Another breathless presentation. So as we are talking about multiculturalism, we are becoming British here, so we are respecting the time. We have Dr. Weki for such a long time with us, Eduardo Abaghi, Dr. Simone, Dr. Vanderlei, Dr. Tejon, Corinne. So thank you so much. But so I would like to ask you if you have very quick questions to Dr. Weki, since he talked about agribusiness in Brazil, that even in the pandemic time, so we kept the ball rolling, everything here. So if you have a quick questions, so we may have more 5 minutes. No? So I would like to just to finalize. So thank you, Carolina Freire. Carolina, it has the capacity of penetrating deeply in our souls. And her creativity and innovation have highly influenced consumers' behavior, since her major tools are people's sensibility, artistic awareness, and deeper reflections of human emotions. Thank you, Dr.
Rosalie.
Wake. Yes.
Tomorrow, our professor is a very special person. Professor Joaquim Machado, geneticist, biologist. He is incredible and knows everything about the urban farmer. Is a very advanced person. And I don't know if he's still with us. We had in this first moment with you, Professora Sonia, Professora Karen, Professora Sonia. She is a sustainability expert in not only in Brazil, Sonia Chapman, and also Professor Vitor Megido in design thinking. He was with us. So I would like to thank you again, Carolina, for this brilliant class, and also my friend Eduardo Dyer. Thank you very much, because you did a fantastic overview, and I'd like to thank you all, and of course, this great man, Shigeaki Ueki, with us is a special honor. Thank you.
Okay, just for Marcela, thank you, Marcela, for your cooperation also. So the program is also ready because of Marcela's great efforts to gather a wonderful team in agribusiness under Tejon's coordination. And Marcela is gonna send you the classes of tomorrow by WhatsApp, and those who have not provided us with the telephone number, please send it to us by email or to Marcela. So we are gonna have all of you in the same group. And so just to wrap up very quickly, Jemima is here, Babatola. Jemima is here. Right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
Babatola.
I'm here too. I'm here.
Okay, thank you. Sai ready. Yes, here. Henrique is not here. Gada is here.
Yes, I'm here.
Gada is here. Okay. Narash Bateja is here.
Yeah.
Okay. Armel is not here. Erin is here.
Yeah, and I got my microphone working too for me.
Thank you. Shivan is here. Shivan?
No, Shivam will come also in spring.
Okay, Shivan.
Together with Leo and Armel.
Christine is here. Liu Minghao is here. Yes. No, Liu is not here.
No.
And Rich Cash is here. Rich Cash, no. Hong Jiang is here. Harsha is here. Charlene is here. Asila is here. Eloisa is here.
Okay.
So thank you so much. So the link will be the same for every class, and the password will be the same. Marcela, please send the class of tomorrow, and we start tomorrow at 8 or 9, Marcela? What time? So we don't have your sound, Marcela.
You're mute.
What time?
What
time? Tejon, what time? Tejon?
Open your microphone.
Yeah, yes.
Yes, 8:30 tomorrow, right?
8:30. Okay. So you check the time. So Dr. Simonio, so would you like to wrap up finally?
I just want to say thank you for everybody. Maria Carolina, again, it's good to hear you again. It was a wonderful presentation by Eduardo Daher. Thank you very much. And welcome you, for you students. You are FECAP, part of FECAP now. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Merci beaucoup.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
One tomorrow.
One picture, last picture. Wait a minute. So, yes. Shake your hands. Excellent. Great. Okay.